And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for yourself.
We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans.
Yo, yo, yo. Oh, yeah. Here we are.
Oh, my goodness, man.
My goodness.
Trying to wake up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, guess what?
What's up?
It's arraignment day again.
Again?
It's just like it never stops, bro. It's just here we are again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man.
I feel like we're in Groundhog Day.
Right? I just posted a meme, actually, about Groundhog's Day.
Oh, did
And,
you?
know,
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just like Bill Murray standing here going, well, it's arraignment day again. So,
Yeah, I know. It feels like the last 2 years has just been on like a weird kind of repeat cycle.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like just the finger pointing is insane. But so
Yeah.
that's what's going on today, huh? The arraignment day.
yeah, Trump is being arraigned in Miami. So, I mean, I wanted to get your guys' take on that because apparently there's going to be a large protest of Trump supporters with Laura Loomer or Laura Logan. I'm not sure which one. Laura Loomer, I believe. And then also I just saw before I talked to you guys when I was wiping my butt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Antifa's showing up. Miami Antifa, and they're expecting anywhere between, guess how many? How many Antifa you think are going to show up
17.
here? 17? Just 17?
I feel like
I don't know. There's gonna what like
I feel like
is it
Florida
gonna be,
Antifa is not Portland Antifa. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a weak chapter.
Yeah, but
Well,
they come from all
they
over
were
the place.
asking multiple chapters to show up. So they're anticipating between 5,000 and 50,000 Antifa.
I don't believe that.
I don't buy it at all either.
That's a huge gap.
I can picture it right
5,000
now.
and 50,000.
All the Antifa's like, Mom, can I borrow your car? I
Yeah.
got shit to do. You know what I mean?
Damn it! Why
gotta
don't you
go-
fill it up with gas?
What do you got to do, Bobby?
I gotta go
Protest.
save the world.
God.
Can I have their last bagel?
I'm going to show
gotta
you
hit the
that I
road.
mean something, Mom. You know, something like
Yeah.
that.
It just reminds me of like Step Brothers when she's like, "Well, here's $20 for snacks." But Mom, what if I want pizza?
Yeah.
That's
dude.
not
Yeah.
enough.
Exactly. I hate toaster strudel. Why didn't you get Pop-Tarts? Damn it!
I don't believe for a second there's 50,000 Antifa showing up. If you want my honest opinion, not even close to that.
No,
500?
I wouldn't even say there's 50,000 Antifa in the whole country.
Yeah.
Well, so that's my whole thing. I'm like, does that number exist in Antifa land?
Well,
I
here's the
mean,
deal. If 50, let's just hypothetically say that 50,000 showed up. Let's say 30 to 50 showed up. Then wouldn't that force the government to actually admit that they
Acknowledge.
are actually a coordinated group because they refuse to do so? They don't have any coordination. They don't have any leaders.
You would think so.
Like, I mean, if that many people show up to an event from all different states, that says that there's leadership. It says that there's an organization. And then
Chris,
Jerry
chapters.
Nadler would have to shit himself again and say that they don't exist.
That's a myth, though. Quack, 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 quack,
There's
quack.
not that's not going to happen, dude.
Yeah.
So my question to you, I only asked you because I feel like you might have read more about this than we did this morning. Why?
Yeah, I just sent an article.
Why would they show up and protest something that they want to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, so they're showing up to celebrate, Dave. Okay.
oh god,
They intend to celebrate the indictment and, quote, dance in the streets for the abolition of the presidency. They want to get rid of the presidency, okay?
okay. So this is coming from the post-millennial.
Post-millennial. So this is with Andy No's group and Jack Savick.
Yeah. Listen, maybe they do. But if that's the case, there's going to be a lot of problems going on.
Oh yeah.
Not only because they're going to come out and say that there's celebration, but listen, that they don't celebrate. They celebrate by breaking shit.
Yeah.
And then
Well, not only that, but they try to murder people. I just bookmarked a tweet by Andy No who says a Florida Antifa member was federally convicted and sentenced last year to prison
yeah,
for trying to organize a massacre of Trump supporters.
yeah.
He is scheduled to be released this summer. Now, that's just the words of Andy No.
Andy
If you
knows pretty
scroll
solid, bro.
down.
Listen, I've always thought Andy No was rather solid.
there. Yeah, so this Antifa member is Daniel Baker. He's scheduled to be released this summer. Coming soon.
Yeah, these are nerds and numbers is what this is. Like, that's the only reason these people are relevant.
Oh, is that like one of their like initiation teaching books, Nerds and Numbers?
Yeah. Like, listen, I have nothing against nerds, man, by any means. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at these people.
That's their children's group.
Yeah, if you look at these people, like, without their masks on and shit, these people are rejects of society, most of them. And I'm not trying to. I am actually. I was gonna say I'm not trying to like put them all on the same, but they are. I feel like a lot of these people have no place in society, no friends, no, they don't have groups. They want to be involved in something, and most of them 1-on-1 wouldn't stand a chance. And I think honestly, most of them 20-on-1 wouldn't stand a chance. To be fair, but anytime you have the number of, let's say, 50,000. That's a lot of people, and so
what do you think is going to happen? Because I heard something about Trump actually calling for people to come protest at the courthouse too, right?
Yes. So there's a lot going on. I know you guys have some stuff you want to talk about as well. But hey, before we get started, you guys, if you were watching this on YouTube, leave a like. Click that thumbs up button, man.
Helps a lot.
It's real simple to do. It helps the algorithm, helps us get out there. And leave a comment if you guys like the show, if you like the direction of the show, where it's going. And then also, if you're on Instagram at The Last Americans Podcast, we're posting a shitload of videos over there, everybody. So go like and share that content. And if you like the show so much, take a clip of the show that you like the best and share it on any platform you want. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hell.
Yeah. Agree. It helps us out a lot, man. And especially since we've just changed over channels and we're starting this kind of fresh and new. Yeah. Any of that stuff helps us out.
And if you like listening to the show, head over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening,
Spotify,
and leave a rate and review.
Sure, that helps.
Yes,
too.
dude. I actually was just reading those too. I was reading those as I was pooping this morning. Okay, and then I got a text or an email prompt saying, "Hey, the Zoom's ready, Greg. Get off the pot. Come on now."
We were waiting. We were waiting for you. But yes, all that stuff is very important, guys, to keep the show going, and we appreciate everybody that does it already.
Absolutely.
We understand this is a process starting over. And we're glad that the people that are with us right now are with us, and we hope to keep growing. So
yeah,
amen.
Thank you guys. So let's keep this going, Greg. Let's keep this going. So did he call for people to come out and protest?
So yeah, protest. There's nothing wrong with legally protesting and peacefully protesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we have this rally that's being organized by Laura Loomer. Okay, and Trump was being interviewed by Roger Stone on Monday. And saying that, there's a rally that's scheduled to begin at noon outside the courthouse, blah, 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 blah. And there's this flyer that's saying, all you protesters, let's bring your Trump flags, Trump shirts, Trump hats, Trump signs, bullhorns, and your love of President Trump, And so Roger Stone asked Trump, hey, what do you think about this? Blah, 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 blah. And he did not hesitate to endorse it. He basically said, you know what? We need strength in our country right now. Our country is being taken away from us. Our country is going communist. It's going Marxist. It's going really bad, everybody. Okay?
Yeah.
The people of the country aren't that way, but the people running it are. Better believe me. They're communist. So, there's a clip of this in this Twitter link. We don't have to play it, but you can hear the words for himself. But he called for peacefully protesting, right?
Just to make sure.
This is President, many of your supporters intend to go to the Miami courthouse on Tuesday to demonstrate their support for you and to protest what they see as unfair and politically motivated charges. I've urged all of your supporters on social media and on my daily show, StoneZone.live, which you can see at 5 o'clock on the internet, that if they decide to go, it is essential that they keep it peaceful, civil, and legal. Our mutual friend, Laura Loomer.
So civil, peaceful, and...
Yeah, so part of me feels like the whole Antifa thing is... listen, I'm trying to think of what makes me think that's really going to happen. They sure didn't show up in New York City, really.
Exactly.
So, there's not you're celebrating, you didn't celebrate then. Now you're celebrating. On top of that, part of me feels like it's a number that was pushed out to force more Trump supporters to feel like they need to go because there's going to be a battle or we can't be outnumbered. So it seems a little bit like a play of hey guys, we need to show up because they're having up to 50,000. We need to show our numbers too. And it seems a little orchestrated to me.
Right?
There wasn't 50,000 people in Portland when we had the 140 days. And you're talking about a Antifa hotspot.
Yeah.
During the election. So what I'm saying is there's a whole lot of situations where I cannot see 50,000.
But
So I don't think
regardless.
it's just Antifa. I think it's supporters of people who hate Trump, right? Yeah. I think Antifa is gathering anyone and any who. So if you're like a trans Tifa, remember we saw that?
Yeah.
So if you're transsexual and you hate Trump, hey, come on out and join Antifa.
What's the largest city in America?
The largest city?
Houston.
No,
I don't know. New York City.
New York City. And where was he, arraigned the first time, if you will?
I believe in New York City.
Yeah. So a city that was, what did I say it was? 80% Democrat voting didn't show up in numbers to celebrate him getting.
I mean, there were people there. There wasn't 50,000.
There was,
but
1,000.
But even then, like, say a bunch of Trump supporters or whatever show up and have their little protest thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then say 1,000 Antifa show up. I feel like that's not a good thing. Something's gonna happen.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, man.
I know, but I feel like is that another fucking point is to force an altercation.
Well, here's the deal. If you are willing to show up in support of Donald Trump, knowing that there's a chance that counter protesters will show up, which I think there will be some, no doubt.
All the
Probably
time,
a lot.
every time.
Yeah.
All you have to do is what he just said, what Roger Stone said. You have to go and you have to be legal. You have to be safe. You have to protest, peacefully. And if you do that and they show up and they turn out violent, it helped tremendously having video of them in Portland burning shit down, pushing people, punching people,
doing illegal stuff.
You do what you have to do with Trump and
killing
do it in
people
a peaceful way. Don't engage. And if they choose to do that, it comes down to a win for Trump.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. Did Trump call for violence? No, he didn't.
No, I didn't hear any of that.
In that interview, I know it was like a 3-minute clip, but it says Trump goes on to say, quote, "We need strength at this point and everybody's afraid to do anything. They're afraid to talk. They have to go out and they have to protest peacefully."
Yeah.
And he also said, look, our country has to protest. We have plenty to protest. We've lost everything. We've lost the borders. We've lost election stuff. We've lost respect all over the world, right?
Yeah. He's not wrong.
So,
protesting is not bad.
No.
Like, people forget that it's not a bad thing, man. It's just we've seen so much violent protesting over the past years. And there's always been some violent protests, even going back to the 60s.
That's what it is, Dave. It's changing the definition of protest.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because they want you to have this image of protest as brutality and violence.
Well, no, see, here's the deal. They love protests when it's in their favor. I mean, they were totally cool with people like burning down whole fucking neighborhoods. Totally fine.
Especially in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But if it's Republican, then it's a threat. So, like, listen, what it comes down to is the divide in the parties, and that's the extent of it. You know what I'm saying? If it's for Trump, you're bad. If it's not for Trump, it's a good thing. So, again, if you do go, be peaceful. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And you know who doesn't help is the mainstream media, because I have a clip on Twitter, and I sent it, say, believe in the links. This is Mr. Wolf, whatever the hell his name is.
He's a
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah. He's got that Dracula hair, bro.
Wolf Blitzer.
Right. So he's saying that the feds are actually anticipating for domestic terrorists to show up here.
Imagine that.
Is now learning FBI special agents across the country are actively looking for possible domestic terror threats related to Trump's upcoming court appearance in Florida. Sources say some pro-Trump groups are already making plans to travel to Miami and support the former president as he faces these federal charges in the classified documents case. CNN's Josh Campbell is joining.
Yeah.
So he's saying that the feds are saying that there's going to be, domestic terrorism.
terrorists.
So what we know is now the feds are planning their little trip with their
they're gonna light the match. They're gonna light the match
front.
On this altercation. That could happen.
So expect the U-Hauls, expect the closed down subway stations,
the Nazi flags,
and the fucking Captain America shields, and that's the feds. So they're like, we're watching for that terrorist. You ready to go, Bill?
Yeah, it's gonna be. There's gonna be the Trump supporters on one side, the Antifa on the other side, and then all of a sudden there's going to be someone walk into the Antifa thing and go, go get him, and then everyone goes,
Yeah.
and then everyone's
Full
going to
charge.
collide, and they're going to be the match to this firework that they're expecting to go off.
I thought Wolf was going to say the FBI was actively seeking domestic terrorists within the FBI headquarters. You know what I mean? Like I thought they were going to like do some little self-investigating, but hey.
Wolf has got to get some bigger glasses, man. Those suckers are stretched out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are very tight to his head.
I mean, the actual arms of the glasses are like
they're supposed to go straight back.
They're cutting off the circulation to his head.
They're they're pushed into the side of his head.
Man, talk about permanent marks, dude.
Yeah. That's a stress mark right there.
Here's the deal, man. I don't want to like overanalyze this or hype this up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's, we're obviously talking about it because it's relevant, but we've seen so many times where we've heard that there's going to be major altercations, major like domestic terrorist possibilities, all these things, and we haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
J6 was the one that they really tried to use, and we've seen now that was even a farce in a lot of ways. So, listen, are they going to try to set it up? Are they expecting Trump supporters to be violent or get angry? Yes. Will they? I don't think so at this point. I think there's been enough that I think these people realize that one wrong move could put you in jail with no phone call, with no lawyers, with no hearing, and they don't want to do that. So I think you'll see very peaceful protesting, and I think you'll see the Patriot Front or whatever the fuck they're called. They're going to show up because the feds are involved, and they're going to, they're not going to do anything, but they're just going to push the buttons for them to say, look.
That's what I'm saying, though, man. I mean, like, if there's violence, it's not going to be just like willy nilly, like I'm going to throw something because like I'm pissed. Like it's going to be you're in an altercation with an Antifa member or an agitator, right?
Yeah, but they always say, listen, man, this is a huge case.
Is that guy going to show up that was at J6?
The shaman?
No, not the shaman, the FBI guy.
I don't think so.
Ray Epps?
Yeah. Is he going to be like,
no, his purpose was
we need to go inside the courthouse.
Yeah. I think his purpose was served.
Let's go and get him.
Yeah, man. I don't think this is going to be like some Boondock Saint things where they just show up in the courthouse.
But so you guys remember, like, who was the like Patriot group, the Joey something
Joey
in
Gibbs.
Portland?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember the clashes? Sure. I mean, we had some of those in our intro way back in the day, but it was like the clashes between
the
like
Proud
the
Boys.
Republican,
the Proud Boys and the Antifa.
Yeah, I thought there was another name for it, like Patriot. Something.
Proud Boys. That was it. Joey Gibbs were in the Proud Boys, and they had, that was Portland's thing, man.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that was a group that you could argue was more
Patriot Prayer. That was it.
Oh, that was a different one.
That was not even. Yeah, Patriot Prayer
that's
was,
the one I was thinking.
Joey Gibbs. Proud Boys was I can't remember the dude's name, but Patriot Prayer really wasn't.
Okay.
They weren't really like all that engaged in fighting. Proud Boys were the ones that were going and trying to like, they were more than happy to like dominate some Antifa.
Knock people out.
Yeah. And they're pretty much at this point, I feel like they're almost I'm not saying they're non-existent, but you don't hear anything about them anymore.
No.
And I really don't see them showing up. Honestly, the local police and whoever shows up have been doing pretty good jobs. They know that this is a big event. They're going to separate people. You're going to hear a lot of screaming, a lot of sign shaking. And I think that group will show up. I do think that the Patriot Front will show up, and it's going to be just them standing there looking like idiots. And, the news is going to say, look, even the white supremacists showed up for, Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Antifa, they're going to try to go after them, but they're the feds. So they're really not going to fucking engage in fighting. You know what I mean? It's going to be a big circus.
So what are your chances, or what are the chances that actually Trump gets like arrested here? Get charged guilty, because his lawyer or the judge.
Well, the guilty part isn't for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we're just in arraignment right now.
Okay. Well, like, so the judge that was originally assigned to this got dismissed, and they assigned a different judge because everybody was making a stink, right? Yeah, everybody was stinking about, hey, this was a Trump appointed judge, so he's going to go fair on it.
Yeah, I mean. Why is that okay? But Hillary can have her own judges, and
right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't really understand like why that's a thing. But the purpose of an arraignment is the defendant must be informed of the charges. That's it. There's not. This is Trump's going to go in. They're going to say these are exactly what we're charging you with. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the court. It's not the actual hearings or anything. None of that crap. It's just him getting like just like what he did in New York. They go in. They say this is what you're getting charged with. and then he walks out 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
So we're going to see,
Well, except that one took over an hour.
Well, whatever it was. I mean, but you're going to see Tim Pool and Crowder, and they're going to watch the video of him rolling into the courthouse just like they did before.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to see, like, there's his van or there's his fucking entourage, and there he goes. Trump's going in to hear the, and then he's going to walk out, and he's not going to say anything to anybody like he did last time, probably. And he's just going to go back to Mar-a-Lago, and then that's it.
The only difference is
this
one is a federal thing.
It
so
is.
obviously they have denied any kind of media being inside
No
to
cameras.
record anything. They can't have cameras. They can't record audio.
They didn't in New
can't,
York, though.
Yeah, they didn't there either.
Which is not shocking.
It's going to be
pictures of
treated the
Trump.
same way as Maxwell's court, where you're not going to see or hear anything from it until.
Yeah, there's pictures of Trump, Greg. You're right. There was a couple from New York, but no audio, no fucking video really of him, like nothing extensive. Him sitting there is one thing, but I'm with you, Chris. This is to me, this is at this stage in the game, I don't see a lot going on. Like there's nothing to celebrate. He's getting an arraignment. So I guess you could say that's a celebration, but really once he goes to court, that would be the time that I think that things would be really heated or really like, ooh, it's really happening now. It's really, because this could take a long time.
Well, yeah, I found out that Judge Jonathan Goodman will preside over Trump's arraignment.
John Goodman?
That's what I'm saying, dude. John Goodman's making a comeback.
Yeah, this is
those
already playing
Roseanne
out.
days.
This is already playing out to be a movie.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, man.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Judge John Goodman. There we
Fuck
go.
yeah.
Let's do it.
So who is this guy? Who is he? Who assigned him? What's his beliefs? Do we know anything about him?
Well, he was appointed in 2010, and also Judge Eileen Cannon will still remain on the case as a lead judge, so she's not going anywhere. FYI.
Okay.
John Goodman, he's a federal magistrate judge, United States District of Southern District of Florida. And, wait a second. He was appointed to this position July 23rd, 2010, and his current term expired on July 22nd, 2018? What?
That's weird.
This doesn't make sense.
We'll have to look into that a little bit more.
I don't know who he was appointed by.
Oh, boy, he's a creepy son of a bitch.
Which one is he? This one?
Right? Is that him? Where he's like, ugh. He almost looks like a priest that's going to freaking do something bad
I
to
feel
you.
like it's the other guy.
I don't know which one. Is it this guy? Is that him?
Yeah, I think that's him.
Yeah, that's John Goodman right
Roseanne!
there. You called it.
I don't know if it's this guy.
No,
I think it's
this
that
guy.
Dude. Do that third
Ew.
picture of him. That's yeah, do that one. That one's really, yeah, that's like a fucking bad guy. Batman, dude. That looks like the fucking penguin.
I will arraign you.
Yeah.
Beware.
Oh, God.
Listen,
Evildoers.
we can find that out once it gets closer to the stuff. So at the end of the day, for me, yeah, he's going through the process, man, and he's he's going to stand tall. People will show up. I'm sure Antifa at some point will show up. I don't know if I'm sold that there's going to be thousands upon thousands. Maybe. You never know. Maybe. I highly doubt it, personally. But I definitely see it. I don't see it being a huge clash right now. But it could be setting the stage for when court happens that there's more and more to come from it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I think with a federal case like this, okay, so if you really break it down, I feel like this is their best shot. A federal case. This is this isn't some rogue DA. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a bigger case.
It's a rogue DOJ.
Yeah, rogue DOJ.
Yeah, there you go. Doge.
Yeah, man.
So actually, I've heard that they plan to indict Trump. This whatever the hell his name is, John Smith or something. What the hell is the guy's name?
John Goodman?
No, the guy who's originally going after Trump.
Oh,
anyway,
I think it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Something Smith. So he's going after Trump, and he plans to indict him 3 more times. There's like the Georgia election thing. There's like the Ukraine stuff. I don't know.
Listen,
There's 3 different things.
That's fine, dude. That's totally fine. And again, Trump's already been doing this for 4, 5, 6 years now. Like, this is no big deal to him. So, of course, even if he becomes president again, there's going to be indictments and yada, yada, and impeachments and the whole nine. We expect it. It's not that shocking anymore. And the truth is, I don't remember who was saying it, But they were talking about like, I think it was what's that Naj guy? It's running for president as well. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's been pretty outspoken about it. And they were saying like, how do you support, like they were asking, CNN was asking him, how do you possibly support a guy who's had all these indictments, impeachments? Like, he was found liable for assault. And he just said, people are going to vote. They either believe it or they don't. And I think a lot of people don't. So Trump can still be president with all this shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yep. I think people are still going to vote for him. Even if he goes to jail, people will still vote for him. I would still vote for him. Fuck. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it just sucks. Like, absolutely. Yes. Yes, I would. It just sucks that he has to go through this shit. And sometimes, when they're very afraid of what's coming, this is the way they react.
Yeah.
It's fear. To me, it screams that the Democrats are fearful. And you could argue that it's nonsensical, but they very much are scared.
Oh, yeah.
They're scared of losing control. They're scared of possible prosecutions going forward. They're scared that Biden is under deep water right now. It doesn't look good. And so,
well, isn't it like, speaking of Biden being under deep water, isn't it surprising or not surprising that the timing of all of these things happening to Trump is happening at the exact same time that all of these disclosures are happening with the Bidens?
Well, yeah, but I like I just said, man, I really feel like this is a do or die. I mean, you could go and say that we're going to indict him 2 more times, but like what we've seen previously was rogue Congress, with the impeachment shit, or rogue House. We've seen rogue DAs, nothing significant. And this is a big one. A federal case is always a big case.
I'm just saying, like, why did they wait? Why now?
Because
like the timing is very suspicious.
It's
like
not
you're
suspicious.
Going into the election year.
It's
right?
not suspicious. I know what you're saying, but I think you're saying it wrong. It's not suspicious. Like, it is expected, because they are not, like, they do not feel comfortable in the position that they're in right now.
Yeah,
they don't. And
they want nothing but Trump headlines.
Yes.
And they want to do what they can to keep him in a courtroom so he doesn't campaign.
I don't even think that Trump needs to campaign.
Like, I don't think he does either, but they're going to prevent it regardless.
Sure.
And I heard someone say this, and I agree. They want the nickname. Like, they want Trump to have the nickname twice indicted, arrested, or whatever the tarnished nickname would be. Right?
But see, they have to understand, though, that when they say twice indicted, his supporters say, like, twice vilified. It's really like there's 2 sides of this spectrum, and it's very, very real. And so,
it'd be a completely different thing if you were twice indicted and found guilty.
Yeah.
Being twice indicted and then nothing happening, that doesn't help you.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes out of this with nothing, Chris, you said this specifically. If he comes out of this with nothing, they can keep trying, but people are really, there's going to be a point where people are like, oh, dude, listen, this has been time number 25. Like, let's just drop this shit. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to quit until he's in.
They're not.
They're
not
going to quit. But I think
people.
there are going to be a faction of people that every time, regardless of the outcome, is going to be like, yes, he's finally going to jail.
I mean, Greg, we've
hopefully.
said that, where even Democrats are saying, like, this is not a great move. Like, if you have something in stone, great, but you don't, and this is all theory and hypothetical. And even Democrat supporters are saying, like, hey, guys, and I've said it about Republicans, there's certain things that I wish Trump would focus on that he doesn't. Yeah. And Democrats are saying the exact same thing. Like, hey, how about we actually talk about what we want to get done and just let Trump be Trump? Because we're not beating him. We're not beating him. So let's actually prove our point, why we think this should happen, and hope that people get on board. And they're not going to, but that's all you can do.
Well, and they can't, because, you guys brought this up, like, there's so much stuff coming out about Biden at the same time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, what did Grassley just, I know there's more stuff to talk about, but this is kind of like I was going to say transgender.
I have a couple TikToks with Grassley speaking that I thought was interesting about the 17.
About 17 records.
About the redacted part of that statement, that the one part they actually redacted.
So this says Burisma executive who allegedly paid Hunter and Joe Biden has 17 recordings of them as, quote, insurance policies. And this is what everybody was worried about, dude. It's like they're keeping blackmail on your ass.
Well, and then, then you see the videos where people are making the tie, which we've talked about before. Like, why have we been sending Ukraine so much fucking money that's unaccounted for? And I'm sorry that can come across very conspiratorial to a lot of people. But the fact is we are sending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in at a time. And we've seen proof.
Billions of dollars.
Sure. And we've seen proof that 80% of it is no one knows where it's at, where it's gone to, who's using it, what bank account it's in, just vanished. And so if you are blackmailed, in this situation where Grassley's saying that he could potentially have been blackmailed with these recordings, of course he's sending money there. He's hoping that they will just be like, we can't go forward with this because he's sending us, $1 billion, man.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But that's,
Do you have that clip with you?
Yeah. So if you, it's actually going to be the guy speaking here. So just ignore the dude right in the beginning. But what he says is a valid point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The FBI redacts 17 audio tapes of Biden literally incriminating himself. Watch.
Trying to hide for years. This allegation,
so this is the
should lead either to the impeachment or immediate resignation of Joe Biden.
It should.
Primetime was shocked when we found this out just a few hours ago, but it would back up everything that the media has been lying to you about. And if uncovered, would sink Joe Biden's presidency and candidacy immediately. We believe that Joe Biden has been blackmailed by this for years, which would explain
Jesse
why
Waters
he
is killing it
actually
lately, bro.
does.
I got to be honest with you.
Ukraine has tapes
he
of
always has.
Joe Biden. Ukraine has tapes of Hunter Biden. The highly credible FBI informant says that the Burisma executive who allegedly bribed Joe Biden $5 million to fire the prosecutor has audio recordings of Joe and of Hunter. These audio recordings were kept as an insurance policy.
It's kind of reiterating what we just talked about, but
got cornered.
Well, yeah.
Here was Senator Grassley on the Senate floor moments ago revealing for the first time that Joe and Hunter Biden may have been captured on recordings with the Burisma executive in Ukraine. You ready?
Let's hope so.
17 different times.
Whoa!
Grassley also reveals that Joe Biden may have gotten Hunter Biden hired at out the part of
the 1023 produced to the House committees.
He can't say Burisma saves life.
I know. That the foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden allegedly has audio recordings of his conversation with them. 17.
Why would the FBI...
Okay, pause it. Real quick, before we have a discussion and keep this going, the problem that with all this stuff, and it's kind of where I've been at for the past couple of years, is what you see just in the top 4 comments here.
And nothing
will happen. Unfortunately, no one will do anything. And that's a lot. And that's the problem with all this shit, is that there is an overwhelming sense of, yeah, this is really cool. And this is great news. And this is really important. But they're not going to do anything about it. And like, that's a really sad state to be in. And we see it all the time, by the way. I mean, you go into you see Walgreens, CVS, Target, people just grabbing shopping bags, running out, and you just go, nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing to do about it.
What's that?
I seen it at the Comic-Con we were at on Saturday.
What?
There's people stealing shit everywhere.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
Dude, walking around the fucking booths and stuff. I was standing there at the Lego one with Van, and he was picking out a dinosaur Lego. And this kid fucking walked up right next to us with a fucking sandwich bag and just fucking boop, boop, and then walked off.
And that's in Texas.
Damn.
My God.
Yeah, people, there's no shame anymore. But yeah, Jesse Waters is just, I love the way he's breaking stuff down, and he has been for a while. It's been good. But he came out and basically said, and I thought I had the full video. It might be the other one.
Dude, it's in the article right down there. So the Post Millennial posted it. It's that full 9-minute clip. I don't want to play that.
No, I mean, all he's saying is...
But it was hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Chuck Grassley cannot say Burisma. Burisma?
He said that they have video, possibly, that indicates that there was an exchange, there was stuff going on. That was one of the only things that was redacted. He said it was roughly like an inch or two of redactions, which talks about the video and why would they redact these videos. Well, they're redacting because we're sending a lot of money over.
Yeah.
And those two coalitions, or that's the wrong word, those two things together don't look great for Biden, because there's a lot of people in this country saying like, hey, I support Ukraine too, but what are we doing? Like, that's a lot of money. We got homeless people everywhere. What's going on? Bridges collapsing in Philadelphia right now.
Well, yeah, you had this fight over the fucking debt limit, but the whole time you're sending billions of dollars to another country.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, and not only that, but Grassley also said, based on the facts known to the Congress and the public, it's clear that the Justice Department, the FBI, haven't nearly had the same laser focus on the Biden family.
They haven't.
As they had, for Trump. So it's just like, can't everybody see at this point how freaking banana republic bias this is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To your point, Dave, I'm hoping like some Democrats wake up and be like, dude, this just isn't right. Like, they could say, I don't like Trump, but I don't like the way that they're treating this. And something's wrong here.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it multiple times. Like, is it getting to the point where people just can't let it happen anymore? Like, regardless of what side you sit on, is it getting to the point where you're like, okay, something has to be done?
I and I get it, and I think that there is some reality to that. It's just what sucks is that ideology is such a stubborn thing, and a lot of people will just die on the hill. They're more than happy to die on the hill. And to Greg's point, like Democrats, here's the deal: Biden is not doing anything for you. I know Gavin Newsom just came out with Hannity and was praising Trump about how great he was.
That?
Yeah, I did, and it was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
but listen, they're gonna say that shit, and I get it. But Biden has done nothing to help the Democratic Party. Nothing other than being establishment. That is it. And so it is shocking to me that there aren't Democrats other than, maybe Kennedy, who are not saying like, listen, I don't want, like Greg said, I don't want Trump either. But like Biden is not the answer. And there is a lot of corruption that could be happening here. And we can't allow that for the good of our own party. Even if we lose going forward, if we want to win in 2028, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have got to get this ship righted, and I don't think that they're going to do it.
Well, that's why I think RFK Jr. has a shot, dude, because he can come in as the outsider and say, look at what they're doing to Trump. Like, he could say just what you just said. Like, I don't like Trump. Like, he's already said that he disagrees with him, wholeheartedly on these political ideals and stuff. So he's like, we can't let this happen. So we have to do something. So he has a chance to unify a lot of people and kind of call everything out at the same time. Does he not?
Yeah, I'm not like, again, I'm just not sold on Kennedy being the answer. I know like some people have endorsed him and stuff, but I don't know that that's even the guy, you know what I mean, for them right now.
For sure.
I don't see like the support that like Bernie had, as much as I do not like Bernie Sanders. Like, you couldn't deny that Bernie Sanders had an insane amount of followers.
Yeah.
Very dedicated, just like Trump. And so, like, if you remember back at 2015, 16, right? Bernie, before it all went down where Hillary screwed him, people were saying, like, Bernie's a formidable fucking dude. Yeah. And you could see it in his crowd size. You could see it in the enthusiasm, the young generation. And I don't see that. I don't see that from anybody right now other than Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, I think we have a couple more months before we see rallies and whatnot. I think RFK Jr. Will have some rallies. He's going around on podcasts and right now kind of building his base.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't know, man. I just see that is the one thing that I could see where he has a stronghold is unifying everybody and saying, I agree. Look how ridiculous this is.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
think he does have an opportunity here. I mean, he could go to the Democrats and say, you don't agree with the corruption that you think Trump may or may not have had with Russians. How is it okay that now this is coming out that our current president and the Democratic Party has all these ties and with all these other countries or governments? It's the same fucking thing. So if you're against one, you got to be against the other too.
To be fair, I think he has. I don't know if he has or not. I haven't listened to that much of RFK Jr., but yeah, I know that he knows that the Ukraine-Russia war is a fucking joke. And I think that he obviously can tell that Trump is being targeted by a corrupt DOJ, FBI, and executive branch right now.
Yeah, I mean, it shows extreme bias. And I think that that's a big thing. But I also don't think that a lot of people care that there's extreme bias. I think they prefer extreme bias, to be honest with you.
Well, you
go interview anybody and they talk, even to the extent of like, a dude going around talking about freedom of speech. And most people are like, well, I believe in freedom of speech, but, I also think that there's people that needs to be like silenced. It's dangerous. And like, That's what I'm saying. Like, they want freedom of speech when it favors them. When it's something they dislike, they don't. And you're not going to get rid of that ideology. Yeah. And so when it comes to Biden, it's like, well, he may be corrupt, but he's sure a lot better than Trump. And getting rid of that,
safer, way safer.
Getting rid of that is going to be very hard, no matter what. No matter what.
That's an insane thought process.
Well, not only it is, man, and I agree with you. It is crazy.
Yeah,
but to say it's not real, the youth are
the youth, bro. I mean, there was that recent poll we didn't really talk about it on the show, but they would rather give away their voting rights to keep their access to TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
to post on social media. To post on
49,
social media.
Yeah, it was like 49, some godly number, like 49% of, 18 to 25 or something would rather keep their social media accounts than vote.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, bro, but we got some work to do.
Well, listen, it's the new era, and we have friends that are this way too. To them, they're looking at like, hey, I tweet and I post every single day, and I'm on my phone every single day. I don't think of the presidency every single day. And, we have a good friend, who's just like, dude, I just want to fucking work, be with my family. I'm not worried about fucking politics. You know what I'm saying? He would be more concerned about how his job's affected, how his family is, what they're doing.
But that's local politics too.
It is. And I'm not agreeing with it at all. I think that stuff does tie in, but there are people that just want to like wake up, live their day, and move on to the next. And so this stuff that comes out with Biden and Trump and all this crap, they just don't care. It's like it is more important to them to have the functions that they need on a daily basis rather than worry about the politics that are happening behind the
scenes.
scenes.
Would care as soon as like the president walks away with fat pockets and the Chinese come in and are now running shit.
Sure.
Well, it's all downstream. Like their perfect little life and their culture is all downstream of the political ideas that were just accepted in some sort of
most people don't care about that kind of shit until they're directly affected.
I totally agree.
Exactly.
But they've also built this this culture for decades of like we're no longer patient. Everything has to be instant now.
Yeah.
I have to be able to post this now. Even me, like even you guys, I'm sure, like if something takes a minute to download, you're like, what the fuck is going on right now? You're pissed. I did yesterday. I was trying to get a image from my iPad to my phone or vice versa through AirDrop, and it wasn't working. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And it like literally took a minute rather than instant. So we've been groomed to want instant gratification. And Biden and Trump is not instant gratification for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so, like, how do you, combating that is very tough.
That and like
politics in general that has nothing to do with instant.
There's nothing instant that happens in politics.
No. Exactly.
And a lot of the problem with with our friend, everything that happens is affecting you, but it's like we said, nothing is instant. So it's all been happening for so long that you don't even realize that it's affecting you.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't care. They look at it like, in my lifetime, I'm not really going to see anything crazy.
And until you take
COVID
the fucking 40,000 view look at your life and go, oh, I can go buy a fucking soda now for $3 fucking $3-4. When I was a kid, it was a fucking $1.
Or just gas prices, bro.
But here's the deal.
It's $5 a gallon up here. Pretty damn much.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that doesn't change anything. They still go buy gas. Our friend still buys gas. He'll bitch about a price of a
that's what I'm saying. You don't even realize that it's affecting you.
But we all went through COVID.
All that is the way it is because of politics.
I know, but my point is we all went through COVID, and there's a large swath of people in this country that really, they're just like, yeah, it happened, it's over, it's and they didn't change their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And so we just have to understand that like not everybody is going to have like this sudden like surge of information that they go, man, I've been living life wrong. I've been like, this is not happening.
Oh no, there's always going to be that portion of people that just don't ever care at all.
No. They do what they have to do. And I don't blame them. A lot of people are trying to survive, man. Let's be real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are in a lot of traumatic situations right now, money, financially, jobs, kids, family, that they just are like, I don't give a fuck about Trump. I can't even eat tonight, bro.
I hope that those people aren't forced to make decisions then, because if you're not informed and you're easily exploitable or you're easily kind of just manipulated, I don't want you to vote. I'm sorry. Like, I want you to kind of, if you want to live your life and not have a process and not really know what's formally going on, then have your life and don't vote, please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's never going to happen. You know?
Exactly. But I'm like, then why are you voting then? Like, I guess
because there are certain people that feel like they're more informed than they actually are. And so when election season comes and they don't care, every day of the year, they're just like, hey, I'm just here to live my life, man. I care about my family. I care about my job. They don't care.
Right before the election.
And then the election comes and they they're friends.
They
or
read the pamphlet.
Yeah, they don't even necessarily read the pamphlet, bro.
Nah,
they have friends and they go, oh, you guys are voting for, what's he about? Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Name recognition.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. I mean, that's like going to a horse race. I could go to a horse race tomorrow and I don't know any of these fucking horses and I would just pick one and be like, well, hopefully he's good. I put $20 on him. They better be good. And if he loses, I go, oh, fucking shit, that one, It's you don't really know.
Fucking shit, that one.
I mean, you don't know.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that you don't go partake.
I feel like that is a lot of people, yeah.
I mean,
81 million people did that with Joe Biden.
Exactly. I mean, Chris could go to an NBA game with me knowing nothing about any of these teams, who the players are, how many points they score, anything. Yeah. And you could just go like, oh, this is entertaining. And like, yeah, I'm going to root for this team. Like, why not? Like, it doesn't mean that you're invested. You're just in the moment.
Yeah.
It's what seems right. And that's where a lot of people are. They're not informed. It just feels right.
That's why these people are good at acting, these politicians.
Yeah.
They have to be good at acting because in the time where it matters, you got to pull at the heartstrings. You got to pull at the freaking attention spans.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
you got to get the clicks.
And that's the issue, too. Like you said, 81 million people. But like between the two presidents that you vote for, that's only a third of the country that's even voting at all.
Yeah.
And so there's 2/3 of this country that literally don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
and that was 81 million votes, not necessarily people. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There's 300 million people or however many, whatever it is in this country, and only a third of them actually vote.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I will.
Maybe a third.
I will go back one more time and just say that, like, we don't know the numbers. We don't know like what's been bad and what's been good, like how much is legitimate, how much is not. Okay. There's no solid number. But I will continue to say that, like, I do believe Joe Biden got a lot of votes. And I believe that because I believe that the media did its job and they criminalized and vilified Trump to the point that they felt like, those people that don't care normally were like, I heard that if Trump gets in, we're fucked.
Well, not only that, Dave, but look at the year 2020, how much shit was going down. Mm-hmm. Like they saw our country, like literally like just on fire, hating each other.
Yeah.
Like all of these protests, the George Floyd protests, COVID, the freaking lockdowns, abortion, all this stuff, dude. So there's like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So the people got sick of being sick. Yeah. I'm tired of being tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do think that, like, I hope this is kind of the question I was posing yesterday about what do people care about? Do they care about getting the country on track, or do they care about vindication and
Yeah.
And I do worry quite a bit that, like, we're losing messaging by this, because I do think a lot of people are sick of all this. And I think there's a lot of people in this country that want to hear about, like, hey, listen, I don't buy this whole thing. I don't think that he's guilty. Maybe Biden's not even guilty. I don't even know. I don't care. What I care about is that gas is $5 in Washington. What I care about is that this is not working out, that this is, money's being moved where it shouldn't be, or the LGBTQ thing is a takeover, whatever the concern is. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. And I don't think they will. I bet you this entire election cycle is based off of who did what, why they're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's criminal, who's not criminal. Hearings. Biden's probably going to be in court eventually. Yeah. It's just like, I think a lot of people.
That's my argument for RFK Jr., dude. That's why I think that he has a shot, because I think people are so fucking sick of this, both sides. Right? And it's somebody new, somebody who's like, father was killed, uncle was killed by the intelligence agencies, admittedly by RFK. So, I mean,
I just wish Trump would come out and just say, like, hey, despite what I'm going through, and you guys all know what I'm going through, I want to talk about what we're doing to get the country right, because that's what's most important. I still to this day think that messaging would rocket him so far ahead of anybody. He already is to some extent, but I'm just saying, if he just stopped and said, hey, don't worry about me. Like, you know that they're going to do this. Don't worry about me. Let's talk about how we can get inflation down. Let's talk about how we're going to secure the border and really focus on that. I think that you would win so many people over, because I think people are just kind of over all this stuff, man. And I know it's happening and we have to talk about it, but I think they're just over it.
Trump is all about me, 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 me. Dude.
I know,
that's
and that's
like the number one thing against him that I have.
That's
like,
exactly
to your point.
What I said. Yeah.
It's like he cannot not talk about himself.
I agree. I agree. But I've said that is his one thing that I think is a downfall. And remember months ago or a month or two ago, I was like, that will hurt him if he can't have a direction change. He needs to like mature up a little bit as far as politically mature up here and change the focus, because no one can help what's happening to him. None of us can. We can talk about it. We can say that it's criminal, but we can't do anything to help him. Like his lawyers, himself, what he says, what they say, and what the evidence is the only thing. So
I think we can share the evidence and share the truth and be like, hey, look, to your point, though, like, I don't think Trump needs to be the one out there. I think he could be like, hey, look what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Big Chin, Matt Big Chin, what the fuck's his name? I can't remember. He's got the
Gates,
big chin.
yeah.
Matt Gaetz. So it's like, look what these people are doing. Look what they're finding out. They're finding out some damning things, that this, and this happened. That's just a shame. But here's what we really got to do to get our country around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but all those guys are still talking. I mean, most of them, rightfully to an extent, right? They're talking about Biden. They're talking about corruption. And I'm just saying, like, when was the last time you had a conversation about how are we going to fix the border? Or how are we going to fix immigration issues? How are we going to fix inflation?
Well, Trump is the last one that talked about.
Yeah,
I'm
drill
just
baby
saying,
drill. He said that.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Ending birthright citizenship or whatever.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
those
he
are,
has a list.
I know,
of
but
things that
those
he's
were
gonna
just
do.
like, here's a list of things I want to do. I'm talking about real discussion where, you know, let's say Jim Jordan's on TV doing an interview, and he says, "Hey, listen, you know what? Like, because I actually have the clip. We don't have to play it, but a lot of these guys are coming out, which I don't trust most of them, but they're coming out and they're like, basically turning the tables on these other organizations, saying like, hey, I know you're asking me that question, but I'm going to talk about Trump right now. I'm going to talk about what's going on, blah, blah, blah." I wish some of them would just say, hey, listen, he's dealing with it. It's going to be fine, but we need to have a real discussion about our debt crisis. And this is what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? But they're not. They're not. It's kind of just the wheels keep turning. And I just think people are done with it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think somebody has to stick up for Trump. I know that, like,
they all do.
A lot. He goes through like a lot of bashing through the mainstream media, and that's why he has to feel like, oh yeah, I got to always like defend myself and talk about myself. But it's just, it's over the top, bro.
Yeah,
like everything's super hyperbolic with him. You know, this dirty DA over in New York, you know, he hates my guts and all this stuff. You know, he was out to get me from day one and all this, you know. It's like, okay, man, just say, hey,
I get it.
Here's the evidence. And here's
listen,
what we
that's
know.
what he does well, though. So he's not going to go away from it. There's a lot of messaging out there that's not being discussed. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think he's in a position where he could show real strength by actually continuing to have those discussions, even though he's facing other things. I think that would show people, man, this guy's a tough cookie, bro, dealing with this. And he still just wants to do what's best for this country. You know what I mean? And so will he? I don't know. To your point with, you know, with Kennedy, like, sure, you know, but we all know that when it comes to interviews and messaging on his part, just like what they did with Bernie, they can sway his messaging quickly if they want to.
Yeah, they already
him off
have.
track. Yeah.
They tried.
You know, part of politics, I guess, you know, at the end of the day. But
that it is.
Yeah, it is. It's wild, dude. It's wild. But that's why we're here. We enjoy this stuff. And I think over the next couple months, it's going to get really weird. You know what I mean? I think, I know you said end of year, it's probably going to get real dicey. I still think like once, you know, campaigning really starts kicking off next year, first part of the year, spring, when it's aggressive, I think that's when you're going to see a lot of like crazy shit going on.
Probably.
Next summer, next year, around this same time, I think it's going to be fucking, the country's going to be on fire.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to say, man. Yeah, I don't know.
The whole thing. It's going to be that meme of Adventure Time or whatever. We're just sitting in the burning house.
Everything's fine.
This is fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
It's just, I'm just have, you know, precedents to compare it on. And like 2020 was a fucking crazy year. I think 2024 is going to be even more crazy. Because if you guys are saying like, hey, this is their last shot, this is all they got.
Well, but I will say that there's also, we have to understand too that people learn and grow and develop in society in general, right? And we've been through that and it was chaotic. And I think even if you want to compare like the J6 stuff, man, I think a lot of people learned lessons from that. And so I don't know that we're going to see the same. Now, Antifa, for example, like they're going to do Antifa shit. There's no doubt. But I'm just saying, I think people have learned a lot and I don't think you're going to see the same, like kind of like, what are we doing right now? Oh my God. It's just going to be like, we've been here before. This is what you don't do.
Isn't that what we talked about? They want you to learn from January 6th that you can't go protest your government.
No, but see, listen, but here's the deal. I think at this point we can acknowledge that the entirety of it was an embarrassing moment in a lot of ways because of the damage that was done. But we know that wasn't everybody. There was handfuls of people. Yeah. And so it's not that you don't protest. It's that like, hey, be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful who you're around.
Yeah.
And don't, if somebody breaks a window, like freaking grab them, take them to the police, be like, this guy's busting windows out, man. I think there's actions that you can do to like keep yourself out of that. And I think a lot of people lost control. When it came to
it's hard to control the crowd though, right?
It is,
when you have that many people, it's
I know, but if a large amount of those people learn, like I just said, learned a lesson of like, hey, if I'm going to do it, I need to be peaceful. I need to make sure that we're mindful of what's happening around us. Like it happened once, don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just like, how do you stop the people once you see them? Like, how do you gather the force to go stop these people?
You back away. You go a block away. You like get out of the surroundings. You know what I'm saying? If people would have shifted,
exposes the people that are doing it.
If people would have saw something and shifted off of the steps and went back out into the field and just sat down, for example, you know what I mean? With the groups, what are they going to charge you with?
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. People did stuff and then people decided, I'm going to go inside as well. And then all of a sudden you're putting yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that if there was a gang shooting. Yeah, you wouldn't do that if there's a gang. People are shooting each other and you just run up in the middle of it and be like, yeah, I'm here. What's going on? Like you would be caught up in it and no one would do that. So why do that in this situation? You know what I mean? So just lessons learned, man. It's not to not protest. You should protest, but do it in a mindful way.
Do it strategically.
Legally.
Yeah. So it's interesting stuff though, man. Yeah, it's Grassley. Well, hopefully he makes it through to get this out because he was stumbling upon himself. He's old.
Well, this is only going to add to the investigations, clearly. I mean, this obviously we want something to become of this. At least I do. And I know it's going to take longer than we all want, but.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, it's either Trump gets arrested, and everything goes to shit, and there's like a big old protest.
But I don't think he'll actually, or like Biden will actually get arrested and all this will happen. I know there's probably going to be protests, and we'll see if there's any confrontation at that today at Trump's thing. But with the Biden thing, how long before somebody actually tries to impeach him or 25th Amendment?
Like, I don't know why it's not happening right now.
I mean,
I feel like Marjorie Taylor Greene already put up impeachment shit, right?
Yeah, but she's one that's like a little like off and people don't really like, not a lot of people respect her and I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying like she's not the go-to, you know what I'm saying? She's not going to win over other people. Like Jesse Waters coming out saying like, hey man, like this is a situation where why is he still in office? Because he actually went on to say like he should be removed. Kamala Harris should be the nominee going forward because he shouldn't be in office. Now listen, hyperbolic, sure, but there is a very small chance that we could have two running presidents from both parties that are indicted in some form.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that.
Like a fucking election of indictments, bro.
That'd be fucking a first.
Well, that's why I think Biden's going to drop out and they're going to be like, look, he was indicted and he dropped out respectfully. Trump should do the same, right? They're going to compare. Yeah, right. I feel like that's going to happen. Be like, Trump needs to drop out just like Biden did. It's the right thing to do.
Well, when they release the phone calls, of Trump, then maybe you should, but they don't have them, and they do have them on Biden. So they're very different situations. So, and I'm not saying they do because we don't know that fact that they actually do. That's just hearsay. But if they're real, it is interesting.
Well, they're real enough to have to redact them from.
It's true, but I'm just saying we haven't heard them. We haven't heard them. So you always have to keep that in your mind. We don't know 100%. I'm just saying there's a chance that we could have two really weird investigations happening during an election, which is. Then people are really going to grab their heads and go, what are we doing right now? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Actually, you swayed me. I think both are going to be indicted. I think that's what's going to knock Biden out. And I think they're going to want Trump to do the same thing. And they're going to compare Trump and Biden.
But he won't.
I think. No,
I don't think Trump will.
Absolutely not.
No, yeah, he
and
won't.
I think because we've seen this before with certain Democrats in Congress, like not Al Sharpton, but Al Franken, the comedian.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was a
Yeah.
senator, I think, for Minnesota.
Yeah,
so he dropped out, and they were like anticipating that the Republicans would do the same thing, but it's like, no,
they're not going to.
No.
So listen, somebody else could pop in the fray. You could see Kamala doesn't stand a chance. If that ever went down to where she was the nominee, they're not going to be okay.
Is this
with it.
how they bring old Mike Obama in?
It's not what's happening.
This is how it is.
No, yeah, I'm still convinced at this point, especially hearing like the interview with Hannity, that Newsom is kind of keeping his name in the hat. And I think that there's,
I could see Newsom.
Yeah, if Biden went out, I would not be shocked to see Gavin Newsom try to put his sway in on that one. It just and it seems like the perfect for them and the establishment. It's just like the perfect fit, bro. Green New Deal shit. He loves that crap. He loves taxation. It's just it seems like a shoo-in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they'll wipe off Kennedy. You know, he'll get scrubbed out. You know,
something will happen.
So hopefully he doesn't do the old Bernie at that point and say like, "Well, I support Newsom."
Well, he'll. Do you think he gets Kennedy'd?
No.
Kennedy.
No, I don't think so. But
I mean, he's running against their only other person they have running.
Who do you support? If you're him, and I will be fair to him and say that he has some like very, he has some ideas that I think are interesting. But if you're him and he doesn't win and he gets knocked out, like who, when they ask who do you endorse, like who does he endorse?
Probably a libertarian or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the Democrat.
Yeah. It's probably not Trump either. So.
No.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But good conversation, man. It was fun. Got stuck on that topic, but it was worth it because there's a lot of stuff coming out, man. And it's listen, the media's doing its job. They're getting people excited.
Once or fucking twice a week, there's something new.
That's every day. It's like, damn, bro.
But how much of it is horse shit? That's what I want to know. How much is actually going to be done? How much of this is bullshit? And we'll find out.
Yeah, time will tell, my friend.
Time will tell.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you, Chris.
Gentlemen.
You guys have a good Tuesday.
Later, guys.